Hey guys, happy Thursday. Jess Fox here to talk to you about your Road Warriors programming for today. So we are going to start with our little joint mobility prep work that we saw on Tuesday. So same thing. We're going to do 10 rocks forward and back. So with these, I'll show you from the side. Again, I'm barefoot. You could totally do this mobility stuff barefoot to get a little bit more maybe dexterity through your feet. But if you're in your shoes, that's absolutely fine as well. If you are doing them barefoot, then I encourage you to just kind of spread your toes apart as wide as possible. So from here, I like to start with my toes lifted up, but it doesn't matter. You're just gonna shift forward, come up onto your tippy toes, and then kind of sink back towards your heels. So just 10 of these rocking forward and back to start to get your ankles and your calves ready for that. So we're gonna do 10 of those forward and back. Then we're going to do 10 of these quadruped rocks to a shin stretch. So from a quadruped position, I'm going to tuck my toes under, and then from here, so my back is flat. If you're a little bit rounded or tight, you can even actually throw in a few cat cows here if you're feeling up for it. And then from here, tucking my toes under, I'm going to shift back to my heels, maybe come on up for a second here, get a little stretch. And then I'm going to shift back forward, flip my toes under so I can come to the top of my feet. And then I'm going to sink back here as well. That's one rep. Again, you'll shift forward, tuck your toes back under, sink back onto your heels, come up to kind of a kneeling position, shift forward, and then tuck your toes back under to come back onto your sitting on the tops of your feet. 10 of those total. So forward and back is one rep. And then finally, we're going to do 4 each quadruped hip cars. So from our same sort of quadruped position that we've been in, we're going to bring one knee straight up to the chest. Now here in this position, I'm looking for my back to stay neutral throughout. Hands right underneath the shoulders. I'm going to get my abs engaged, then bring my knee up towards my chest, bring it out to the side, kind of fire hydrant out, as high as you can get it, depending on how tight your hips are. Then you're going to loop it around back, top of the foot faces up, so that knee will then point down, and then you're going to bring it back in. So this is a controlled movement as we go through these positions instead of just going through really quickly. When you've gotten through one direction, you're going to switch and then reverse it. So my knee will go back, I'll turn out to the side, come back, bring it up towards my chest, and then back to center. So these will take a little bit, but really great for your hips. So we're doing 4 each side and in each direction. Now that little bit, that's just our little joint prep work. We're just going one time through on those movements for our joint prep. When you're done with that, we're going to get into our specific warm-up, which is going to be 3 times through. We'll start with 5 inchworms with a T rotation. So for the inchworm, I'm going to hinge at the hip, hands come down, I'll walk myself out to my tall plank position, then I'll rotate out to the side, and then I'll switch. So I'll make sure I will rotate with both hands, and then I'll walk my hands back up to standing. So that was 1 rep. We are doing 5 of those with a rotation each direction. Then we're going to do 10 bottom to bottom squats. So bottom to bottom squat just means that you're going to hold for a count at the bottom, like so, feeding your squats in, so about shoulder width apart. Excuse me, something in my throat. I'm going to come down to the bottom of my squat, hold for 1 count, come up, and then come right back down. Hold for 1 count, up, and then down. So this should start to get your legs fired, your quads fired, and prepping you for some of your work, some of the faster squats that you're going to be seeing during your running and interval-based work today. So we're doing 10 of those. And then we've got 15 hollow rocks. So from a hollow body position, so I'm going to lay on the floor, bring my legs straight out, arms up overhead, and then I'm going to rock back and forth, keeping my shoulder blades lifted up off of the mat, keeping my legs glued together. You can always modify, bring your arms by your side, even tuck a toe, tuck one knee or the other, and even just do a static hold. Important thing is to keep shoulder blades up off of the floor. So modify that as needed. If you're outside and you're not looking to get on the floor, then that's fine. You guys could just always substitute. I mean, you could do a hollow body position here, and then maybe even think about a little bit cross from standing, across elbow, knee to elbow here, just to get a little bit of additional movement and some core engagement. So that's your warm up. We're doing 3 times through of that. And then once you're done with that, I would love to see you guys do, excuse me, a 400-meter run. With the 400-meter, start out easy just to get the blood flowing, but by the end, try to pick up the pace a little bit. So our sprint work today is going to be 200 meters. We're just using this 400-meter to get the heart rate up, get your legs ready for, and groove that running pattern mechanics. So once you're done with that, you'll rest as needed. And then we've got our interval-based work for today. So today we're doing 5 sets of 10 burpees right into 15 squats, right into a 200-meter sprint. You'll then rest 3 minutes and repeat the whole sequence. So with this, we're looking for high intensity, but consistent splits. As you guys know, but I say it anyway, make sure you guys are staying safe out there. Wear your protection. So wear either a bandana, wear your mask, wear what you got to do, because you never know when someone is going to turn a corner and you will be less than 6 feet away from somebody. So be smart out there. All right, again, the run work. We got 5 sets, 10 burpees, 15 squats, 200-meter sprint with a 3-minute rest in between. Goal is consistent split times. This is similar to what we did 2 weeks ago, but we've got a little less rest and we've got an extra or one less set. So we're pushing the intensity just a little bit. The burpees. So for the burpees, ideally these are quick burpees. Hand comes down, out, chest touches, jump right in. So we're looking to maintain consistent speed with that burpee. If you need to, you don't want to, your burpees are maybe a little bit slower, you can always take out the push-up and just take it into a squat thrust. That's fine, right? If you have to modify beyond that, if you're walking in and out, it's okay, but I might just instead choose to do the squat thrust variant and maybe cut the volume to 5 to 7 instead. All right, instead of the step in, step out. Looking again for a little bit higher intensity work today. So those are the 10 burpees. For the squats, legs should be ready because we primed them in our warm up. So squat stance, make sure you come down, stand all the way up at the top of the squat. It's common when we're trying to do quick squats, which today should be, to just maybe stand and not really open your hips all the way. So stand all the way at the top and make sure you're getting full depth down at the bottom, hip crease below parallel for your squats. Again, if squats, maybe your legs are super sore from locked and loaded or something else that you've been doing, feel free to scale some of the volume on that. 200-meter run is about one block length, east to west here in Park Slope, but feel free to choose, a distance that might take you upwards of like a minute or so to do. Maybe not quite a minute, just under a minute. That is your running work for today. Then when you're done with that, as usual, walk it out. So 3 to 5 minute walk out. And then we're going to accumulate 10 minutes in a couple different movements. First, we're going to be doing a standing forward fold. So I like to bring feet together. If you're a little tighter through the hamstrings, definitely bring them at least hip width or maybe even a little bit wider to start. And then we're just going to kind of fold over here. You can rock side to side. You might even grab your alternate elbows here, hunt around. Just see what you need there, right? So that should feel good. You can always too cross one leg over the other and take a forward fold like that. You can alternate with bringing your chest up and then letting yourself sink down. Your choice. Find what you need. From there, we're going to go into ground-based hip circles. So from your forward fold, if you want to take it into a little flow, you might just inchworm yourself out there to a tall plank and then bring one foot outside. Take it into a few hip circles in each direction. You might even let your knee drop down. Might even add like a little twist and a forearm to instep. So hunting around here, a little bit on one side, and then you'll switch and a little bit on your other side. Same thing. I encourage you guys, maybe plant your hand down, add a little twist. You can grab that knee, add a twist here. Don't force the twist though, just do what you feel you need. From there, once one leg's up, you might just take it right into a pigeon pose. So bringing that knee down and then kind of sinking back into it. I encourage you guys to untuck that back toe so that you're on the top of your foot here and then sinking down. If you're a little bit tighter, you might stay a little bit more upright. If it feels good, then maybe you're going to come down a little bit lower. So pigeon pose on each side, and then finally finishing with everyone's favorite down dog. So pushing up into your down dog position and then alternating which heel you drive towards the mat. Holding for a count or two at each one, or maybe just holding statically for all of these today. So that is your running work, your Road Warriors work. I will see you guys on Sunday. Feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, that sort of stuff. Thanks, guys.